You know, my dear friend, anger is a very strange thing. It is a spark that appears inside us, not because the world has suddenly become hostile, but because something inside us has not yet learned the art of dancing with life. When someone irritates you, bothers you, or stirs a fire in your chest, it is not really them disturbing your peace. It is your mind telling you a story about what their actions mean about you. And almost always, that story is a fiction, a masterpiece of imagination dressed in the costume of reality. For most of my life, I was fascinated by the way human beings bristle at the slightest insult, become defensive over the smallest remark, and tighten their bodies as if preparing for war when someone simply disagrees with them. It struck me as odd that people who desire peace end up building entire fortresses around themselves, not realizing that fortresses are prisons as well. Let me share something quite peculiar, something liberating. Nobody has ever truly made you angry. Nobody has ever reached into your chest and pressed a button labeled rage. What has happened instead is that your own interpretations, expectations, and unexamined wounds have reacted to a stimulus, like a tuning fork resonating with a vibration that has been waiting inside you for years. To never be angry again, or more accurately, to never be controlled by anger is not about becoming cold or numb. It is not about being indifferent or passive. It is about becoming so deeply rooted in yourself that nothing outside you can uproot you. It is about realizing that people will always behave in ways that reflect their own inner world, not yours. And thus, you cannot take their behavior personally. How could you? It was never about you to begin with. You see, anger arises when the mind insists that life must be different from what it is in this moment. A person says something, and instantly the mind protests. This should not be happening. You shouldn't have said that. Someone disrespects you, and the mind proclaims, I don't deserve this. A stranger makes a rude gesture, and the mind shouts, how dare they? But all these thoughts have one thing in common. They assume you are separate from the world. They assume you are a fragile ego that must defend itself against an unpredictable universe. And that assumption becomes the chain that drags you into emotional turmoil. When I say to you, learn how to never be bothered by anyone, I am not telling you to learn to tolerate disrespect. I am telling you to learn to see the illusion of the ego so clearly that disrespect simply passes through you like wind passing through an empty flute, producing nothing but music. We must begin here, with the awareness that nothing anyone says is truly about you.